Hey guys, this is Tanner Guzzi from Masculine Style. I'm calling in to wish you a very Merry Christmas and share both my best and worst Christmas gifts. I'll start off with the best. I remember one year I was about 10 and my little brothers and I came out super excited to see all the gifts that we were going to be getting from Santa, and he did not show up. We were devastated. And as we were going through and opening up some other presents, I had to run downstairs to find something and ended up discovering that the entire basement was filled with stuff from Santa. So we went from extreme devastation to extreme happiness in a matter of seconds, and I can still remember that feeling. The worst Christmas gift was actually when I was probably 22, 23 years old, and my girlfriend at the time, she for some reason thought that I was just a kid. I think it had something to do with the fact that I enjoyed playing Halo and other video games, and nobody else in her life did. So she got me a remote-controlled car as a Christmas gift and expected me to be excited about this when I had no indication that I was in remote-control cars. And then I find out she didn't even buy it. It was a giveaway gift for her dad having bought some furniture, and the furniture company gave it away. So needless to say, that one didn't last very long. Anyway, those are my stories. Merry Christmas, guys. I love the show, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
You are listening to the Gentleman Scofflaw podcast. Listener beware.
Rise and shine, the liquor store is open. I ain't got time for moping. I best be on my way. Well, I still got time to save my reputation. Time to go day drinking in this dirty little town.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome to the Gentleman Scofflaw podcast, the podcast for the Rebel and the Renaissance Man. I'm your host, Jordan Crowder, and with me in person, as always, is the Donovan Fowler, and joining us all the way up in the Great White North is Johnny Boy. How you doing? Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah, Merry Christmas,
Merry
man.
Christmas, fellas.
I see that you guys are...
And Happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish friends out there.
Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays.
Yeah, Kwanzaa actually doesn't happen until the end of Christmas. It's like after Christmas, so
really?
we don't quite say that
Yeah,
yet.
who cares?
Oh, so I was trying to be PC and welcoming, and I ended up being being bad.
Yeah, you were...
Kwanzaa doesn't start until after
what
Christmas.
About Festivus? I
Festivus
saw somebody had a
Festivus.
Festivus sign out.
Yeah.
I think Festivus is just as valid a holiday as Kwanzaa.
Yeah,
Probably.
I think you're right.
You got your Christmas sweater on. It's
I
nice.
do.
It's actually that's actually like a nice Christmas sweater.
Well, it's funny. It's like my mother bought me this sweater years ago. She was a big fan of this Ralph Lauren brand, American Living from JCPenney. Too much information. But anyways, it's a nice brand, but this sweater is like it's a good sweater, but it has like giant snowflakes on it, and I never really quite know when to wear it. So anyways, it's very festive.
Yeah.
You can clearly only be worn like once a year.
Yeah.
And this is actually, I think, the first time I've ever worn it.
Really?
Because it's so festive. I don't know how to deal with it.
I don't know how to work it.
It also makes me feel like a total snowflake.
I'm
wearing. Wait! You can't introduce your sweater. I have to say,
All right.
Jordan, that is a great sweater that you're wearing. It's actually not a sweater, is it? It's a sweatshirt.
It's a sweatshirt made to look like a sweater. It's like screen printed.
That looks legit. I only knew because I'm sitting so close to you.
It says Frothy the Snowman, and it's got a hipster snowman with his craft brews
And a mustache.
It's
not often that you see a snowman with a mustache.
All he needs. He doesn't have a corncob pipe though. That's the only thing I need for it to be a snowman.
It is a
representation.
That is a great snowman. I'd have a drink with him.
John, what are you drinking there?
I have Brita tap water.
No.
Man, you are not selling Canada
You are not
at all.
No, you are not festive.
You're always like, I have Nestle sparkling lemon water or Brita tap
Never
water.
anything festive.
Or Stella Artois.
What are we drinking here, Donovan? Actually, I should tell you what we're drinking because I bought this, right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Jordan.
No, that's not what I was saying. This is Shiner Holiday Cheer. It is a seasonal brew that comes out every year. in Texas, it's Shiner. I don't know if you had Shinerbach before, but they're more common.
I don't think I've had their.
But
their
these,
stuff.
I found these the other day while we were getting some Christmas decorations at World Market, and they had them. And I was like, I've never seen Shiner stuff anywhere in Los Angeles.
World Market is a surprising place to find unique alcohol.
Yeah. So if you if you're looking for it, it's great. It's it's got kind of an apricot kind of peachy kind of flavor to it with like pecans and kind of
very fruity.
It's a fun fest. It's a little bit cheesy, but it's a tradition where I get it every year now, so I've got to find it.
So you're just gonna rope us into your traditions? Is that how it's gonna be?
It would be interesting if they had an eggnog flavored brew.
Yeah, I'm sure it's out there, Johnny.
With real egg.
Use the internet. No, there. I bet you. I was looking up eggnog bourbon drinks recently.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, actually, every time whenever I go home, I heat up a little eggnog and I put a little cognac.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I've
Or no,
never
brandy. That is not cognac. I'm not French.
Never had it warm before.
It's pretty good. I was always super grossed out by eggnog as a child because of that one scene in Christmas Vacation where Uncle Eddie is just like, he like takes the whatever Wally the moose glass and
Marty.
Are you no, it's not Marty. It's Wally because Wally World.
Oh, from the original one. Yeah, that's funny.
Where like he just like dunks it in there and like it's all like slopping around and everything.
No. It is Marty Moose.
No, it's not.
You're wrong. We got to put a wager on this.
We gotta check this out if our listeners know.
Is this in Canadian dollars or U.S. currency?
And let me finish the housekeeping here. I am smoking my Design Berlin Dublin pipe, and in it we've got some Holiday Spirit, which is from McClellan. It's the 2016 edition, and it's the last of it I have left. So,
there you go.
It kind of tastes like pecan pie.
And you have been very kind. You've shared this with me. I haven't smoked a pipe in a while, but I'm gonna, it being the holidays, I'm going to go for it. Wait a minute. First, I have to prove. Oh my gosh, what the hell? It is Marty Moose. Wait a minute. I don't understand this because isn't it like
you said American funds, right?
No, I didn't say anything of the sort. But wait, why is it called Bitcoin? My question is why is it called Wally World then?
Why are you asking me?
I didn't write the movie.
Do I look like Harold Ramis?
Harold Ramis.
You're not dead, so that's a start.
And later on the show, we've got a bunch of people stopping by, all of your favorites throughout the year. We've got Zach Anner, John Lear. We've got Jason Jaggard. We've got tons of people that are going to be making the guest appearances. Little surprises. Yeah, Rick Schick. And also, we've got an interview. We got some music, some live music, and we've got an interview with an actual elf from the North Pole too.
Sure, it's not a vampire this time.
No, it's an actual elf that works at the North Pole.
Still have the scars from that last interview.
And listeners, anyone who joins our Patreon page this month, all of our proceeds from December are going to support Operation Homefront.
I don't mean to laugh at Operation Homefront, but John, there's a cough. Don't you have a cough button or something?
I do, but I get in trouble
spreading your germs all through Skype.
You can click it off.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take away from Operation Homefront.
Operation Homefront, they're a great organization. They do tons of things for military families during the holidays and all throughout the year. You can check them out. We'll put a link in the show notes. But if you join Patreon on our Patreon, all of our proceeds from December are going to support them. So it's a double whammy. You get all the extras from Patreon, and you get to support a good cause. Actually, it's a triple whammy because we're also doing a mega giveaway, which is also listed in the show notes. And you get an extra entry if you're a Patreon member for the giveaway. And we're giving away tons of merch. You got T-shirts, flasks, stickers, magnets, buttons. We got a bunch of stuff from Phoenix Shaving and a signed copy of If at Birth You Don't Succeed by Zach Anner. All of that
Ooh,
is
yeah.
all
Classic
of that is
guest.
in the pot. So click the link in the show notes if you're interested in that, and go ahead and join us on Patreon. You won't regret it. We're going to have a bunch of great stuff in the new year that you'll want to be a part of, and you'll be supporting a good cause.
Absolutely.
John, what's going on in your week?
Well, I watched a couple of Christmas movies recently. I saw Office Christmas Party with Jason Bateman.
Oh, yeah, I remember that came out last year, right?
That was really quite terrible.
Oh no!
It seemed like
Yeah,
it.
it wasn't good at all. The whole premise is entirely selfish based. They're trying to save their own company, to save their own necks and their jobs and all that. And then I watched White Christmas with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. And, it's the polar opposite. They're trying to be as selfless as possible to help this old man who was their beloved general and, the war.
Yeah.
For no personal gain whatsoever, even when it's brought up that they could be, famous and free advertising for their show and all this. They didn't want it.
Lots of schmaltz.
That's it. Lots of schmaltz, but it was good. It was honest, and we suck now.
They did it because it was the right thing to do.
I have to say, yeah, there's been an influx a lot lately of like every year it's just like really crass Christmas comedies coming out that aren't funny. They have like a heavy emphasis on physical like comedy, like slapstick and stuff that isn't funny and is sort of out of place. I think this year it was like Bad Moms Christmas. Like it's just all about terrible people.
As a side note, Bad Santa 2 was filmed around my building in the city where I work. So if you check out my Instagram, you'll see a snapshot of the shot from the movie and the summertime shot.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I watched Home Alone this week, which is one of my favorite Christmas movies. People, I think, write it off as kind of a cheesy, slapsticky kids movie, but that movie's actually got a lot of layers.
Oh, it's John Hughes.
Yeah,
all the way through. John Hughes and Chris Columbus coming. That movie has so much heart.
It does.
It does, though. I mean, like my mom loves that movie. She loves the production design of that movie.
Oh yeah, there's not any Christmas in the. There's not a frame without anything Christmassy in the whole movie.
And it's very it's also very like suburban. Like it's. I don't know. To me, it's like that kind of good side of suburban life that Hollywood sometimes aspires to. Like that you'd actually want to live in that neighborhood with those people and sharing their hijinks.
If you go on Google Maps Street View, they've actually blurred out the house.
Really? That's hilarious.
Yeah. But you can see the house where the wet bandits hit across the street.
Is it blurred out with a thing? Oh, the silver tuna was the house.
It wasn't McAllister's house.
But I was going to say, does it have a little label over the blurred out house that says you can rent this movie on Amazon for $3.99?
Not even.
See the house in all its 90s glory.
Oh man. Even. I mean, it's such a classic. It's so funny. I love John Hughes. Like everything's everyone's an archetype in a John Hughes movie. It's so but they still have heart. You know what I mean? Like it's not like. There are other types of movies that would do like Christmas movies that would do it like, oh, here's the bad guy, here's the the whatever.
Yeah.
But at his movie, it's like everybody is like kind of unlikable but also likable.
Sure, except for Joe Pesci, who threatens to bite Macaulay Culkin's fingers off one by one, and then Marv is just okay with it. He's like, whatever. Yeah. Thank God for
smash his face with an iron.
It must be kind of a bittersweet viewing this year, considering it's the first Christmas without John Hurd.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking too when I saw him. Yeah. My dad was an extra in a movie once with him and basically sat next to him in the crowd scene all day. They talked a lot, which is
that
crazy.
Sounds like a future podcast guest right there.
Yeah. We could just my dad talking about his day with John Hurt.
Your dad. We could just have your dad on to just tell stories. He's lived through a couple of things.
Yeah, we should. We
just
should
a
have
couple.
him on. So I'm trying to think of. Have you guys watched any other Christmas movies yet this year?
Wait a minute. I'm trying to think.
Well, I mean, what would you say is your favorite, John?
My favorite all-time Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If you had to pick one.
It's a Wonderful Life has got to be up there.
Yeah.
But I find Oh my gosh, what a question. Come back to me. Ask Donovan first.
Right, Donovan. Do you have one?
I do love It's a Wonderful Life. I think it's my favorite. Just for the, character relationships.
Yeah.
I really like the relationship he has with his wife. And then of course, just, the different time jumps and stuff. It's a great movie.
It is.
Classic.
Yeah, I'd probably say, I don't know, I feel like White Christmas for me has always had a good spot in my heart, but there's not that much Christmas in it. But
they get in Santa suits at the end.
I know. That's pretty much it.
It's a Wonderful Life doesn't have a ton of Christmas in it either.
It's true.
But it's not necessarily
that's true.
setting of Christmas time that makes it a Christmas type of movie. It's the message.
Remember when the druggist slaps young George Bailey around?
That chokes you up every time.
It does. It especially as I get older. Like I lose my dignity. Like I can't restrain myself from just like bawling at that scene because it's just so. We're missing a bit of that these days with Office Christmas Party, whatever the hell that was.
You know what is still like what's up there with me with White Christmas, and people will laugh at this. Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
No, that's awesome.
I never saw that, but you know why? Because the Muppets Treasure Island traumatized me. I think it did. It was like the Billy, there was something about it that kind of messed with my head, but I do remember the trailer in front of something I was watching, like a kid's movie, where the mice are outside Scrooge's shop and it's snowing, and they all say, "Our assets are freezing."
And there's a scene where
Classic.
where Beaker gives Michael Caine the finger.
Yeah, that's true. It's such a like the music in the movie is great, and what I love about it is Michael Caine's performance. It's so like top notch. Like it's so sincere and like played as if he's in some Academy Award winning movie, and he's acting with all these puppets, and the music is fantastic in it. But it's also, even though it's Muppets, it's probably the closest adaptation to the actual original Christmas Carol book.
Well,
I'd have to disagree with you there. I would say the closest adaptation would be that animation by Robert Zemeckis.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that. I never saw it.
It's
with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Would you say that is that like a good, like, is it good though?
It's not terrible.
His animations they don't age well, right?
What with that, I feel like the thing that captured the best of the book is the darkness of the book, because the book actually really is kind of terrifying and creepy.
It's all about death and redemption.
Same thing as It's a Wonderful Life, second chances and redemption.
Totally, it's all built around suicide, which brings me to my next favorite Christmas movie, Lethal Weapon, in which Mel Gibson plays a suicidal, what would you call him, rogue cop who teams up with a lovable old timer, Danny Glover.
I'm too old for this.
Yeah. What do you want to hear, man? You want to hear that every day I think about eating a bullet? That's not the most memorable line in the movie, but for some reason it came to me. But yeah, dude, it's funny, the Christmas movies that I consider Christmas movies aren't really Christmas movies in other people's heads, like LA Confidential, Lethal Weapon. I mean, Die Hard, it's kind of an obvious one, but
you even have
Die Hard's the obvious one, and I think there's most shots there's some sort of Christmassy element involved.
Well, I mean,
however,
you have scenes like, now I have a machine gun.
Would you say Diner's a Christmas movie or a holiday movie? Sort of is.
I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely a winter.
It starts on
movie,
Christmas Day and ends on New Year's Eve. I don't know.
I think if I grew up with that movie,
yeah,
I'd probably consider it a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Like LA Confidential, I was just talking to John about this. Like, the beginning is very Christmas.
Yeah.
Like it opens up with like Russell Crowe like dragging like a Santa, whatever, like Santa decorations down from somebody's house to get their attention or something. But yeah, I mean, Iron Man 3 technically is a Christmas. We're getting off the rails here trying to name Christmas movies. There's so many good ones.
You know what? Let's take a quick little break and we'll come back after this. Actually, we interviewed Fred Monslau and talked about his new Christmas record, and he played live for us. So we'll take a quick break. We'll go to that, and we'll come back.
Wait, who's Fred Monslau again?
Gentlemen, this is John Lear, former Geico caveman and star of Quick Draw on Hulu, calling. My worst Christmas present was essentially most of them, because Christmas was always hyped up to be this big, big deal, and so then it was always a disappointment when he came padding down from the upstairs, because how could it possibly ever live up to the fantasy that I concocted in my head? It was only until I was 30 and I ended up converting to Judaism that Christmas became a wonderful, magical day, because let me tell you, nothing is better than Christmas as a Jew. Here's what we do. While all the Christians are home, opening up their presents and being slightly disappointed and having to deal with family and whatnot, we get Chinese food and go see a movie. And let me tell you, gentlemen, that is what Christmas is all about. Happy holidays, and hope you guys have a wonderful 2018.
All right, I'm excited to have this next guest. I guess a friend of the show. He's written in quite a bit. He's a patron on Patreon.
Yes, he is.
But he also happens to be John's cousin, and he's got a new Christmas album out. And a lot of people don't know this yet, but his one of his Christmas tracks is going to be available exclusively to friends of ours on Patreon. So
that's right.
Fred Monslau, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Fred. Let's talk a little bit about this Christmas album. I mean, first of all, like, how did you get started in music, and then what made you want to record a Christmas album?
Well, I think like anyone else in music, it first starts with listening to music.
Yeah.
And that's where it all started for me, with the records that I would listen to.
Yeah.
And I still do.
Did you have any of your favorite, like, what are some of your favorite records or artists?
I don't have any favorites, but I like Michael McDonald.
Okay. So a big fan of like the Doobie Brothers and
No, not really.
Oh, okay. So just his solo stuff?
And Christmas music.
Okay. So what are some of your favorite Christmas records then?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's that song about decking the halls and away in the manger, and Santa is coming to rock around the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And all of the above, which leads me to my album called Baby It's Cold Outside, because it is.
Yeah, it is this time of year. It is kind of cold outside. So do you play that song on the record?
I do.
Okay, that's awesome. That's kind of become a Christmas standard, right?
Fred, I don't remember you listening to a wide variety of Christmas music. Was there a specific artist that you preferred over the others? When I think of Christmas, White Christmas, Bing Crosby, all that. Was that at all an inspiration for this?
Well, I guess maybe a little bit, but I always liked Dino more than Bing.
Dino Martinez.
Those are fighting words.
It's funny. I don't with Dean Martin. I feel like he tries a little hard to be cool, and it's really dated now. Like on his Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeers, he's like, Rudy the Red-Beaked Reindeer, whatever it is. It's like, just sing the song.
You have a good point.
I was always more partial to Louis Armstrong myself.
Oh, yeah. No, he is great. He's great. I'm looking at the track list on the back of your CD right here. You got a lot of great songs on it here. Hold on, let me get
a lot of thought went into that.
So you got some great songs on here. Not all of them are traditional. Some of them, I guess, have become classics in the last couple of years. You got "Where Are You, Christmas?" "The Christmas Shoes." That's a very sad Christmas song, but
it is. It's not one of my personal favorites.
No.
It's actually really a touching song.
Yeah, it is.
I disagree.
It is. You've got my grown-up Christmas list.
I'm still working on mine.
You got "Same Old Lang Syne," "Hard Candy Christmas," "Mary Did You Know," and "Baby It's Cold Outside."
That's quite the mix.
Yeah, you got a lot of reflective Christmas songs on this album. Is Christmas kind of a reflective time of year for you, Fred?
I'll think about it a little more, but maybe not.
No? Okay. So are you hoping that this record will be one that people, pull out every year and put on for at their family gatherings or while they're opening up presents or while they're wrapping presents?
All of the above, yeah. I mean, why not?
All right, Fred. Well, let's hear a little taste of it. You're going to perform one of the songs off your new Christmas album there with John for us live, and we'll talk to you after.
Okay. I really can't stay. I've got to go away. This evening has been so very nice. Very nice. My mother will start to worry. My father will be pacing the floor. So really I better scurry. Maybe just a half a drink more. Neighbors might think, say, what's in his drink? Alcohol. I wish I knew how to break the spell. I ought to say no, 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 ma'am. At least I'm gonna say that I tried. I really can't stay. 'Cause baby, it's cold outside. Very cold. Put on a coat. Get your earmuffs on.
Okay, well that was an interesting take on the song.
Yeah, Fred. Usually that song is done, as a duet, but you had your own take on it. And you did it.
And I gotta say that was kind of a gutsy move on my part because it hasn't been done before.
No, it's true. Yeah.
I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but it has not been done before.
It's true. But I mean, that song, not take anything away from the song. The song is great. The recording is great. But that song kind of tells a story, and I feel like we're only getting half of it.
That's the point. Sometimes you only get half the story.
Okay. All right. Fred, you have a very Merry Christmas.
Okay, shalom, guys.
All right.
Bye, Fred.
All right. John, did you hear any of his album before today?
He gave me a copy. I think it was 4 years ago. So he's been working on this for a while.
Really? I thought it was a new thing. Okay, so it's been on. Well, he sent you a demo or something?
It's always presented as a new thing, but I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to get a copy of "Baby It's Cold Outside" by Fred Monslau, you could join us on Patreon at patreon.com/gentscofflaw. And as a patron, you can get that track as a free download to play at all your Christmas gatherings. All right, let's take a quick break.
Hello, gentlemen, Scofflaws. This is Rick Schick of Movie Fame, A Gross Exaggeration, and Party Rex. PartyRex.com. So, my worst Christmas present that I can remember is getting tube socks. As a kid, I always asked for Legos. I'm like, get me nothing but Legos. If there's any money to spend it on Legos. But somehow I would end up with tube socks. Plus side is Mr. T wore tube socks to the White House, so I guess that made it okay. The best present I ever got is a mechanical sculpture designed by Paul Spooner and built by Matt Smith. It's an automata, which is like a little diorama of The Last Dodo. It's called The Last Dodo, and it's a bunch of sailors sitting around a table with the captain with the carving knives. Sailors are ready to eat, and there's a cooked dodo on the table. You spin the crank, and the sailors like pound their fists on the table, and the captain swings his carving knife. It's really cool. Made by a company that's called the 14 Balls Toy Company. If you like automata, check it out. Merry Christmas to everybody, and see you next year.
Listener mail.
All right, you know what time it is. It's time for a segment called Listener Mail.
Listener Mail.
Where you, the listener, interacts with the show. And you can interact with us on social media. You can leave us a voicemail on, if you call the number man81scoff. And you can leave us reviews on iTunes. But we put this out on social media this week, preparing for the show. And we asked everybody what their best and worst Christmas present ever was. And we got a lot of answers. So what does that first one say there, John?
All right, this one's from Michael Gase. It says
Gas.
Blue Power
The Gas Man.
I think it's pronounced gas.
Or it's gassy. It's for the listener. It's spelled Gasse.
Michael G. Blue Power Ranger costume. Nobody effing likes Billy. And he says, and the best was his Ninja Turtles playset with the pipes.
Oh yeah, I remember that set.
It's true.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, wait a minute. I feel like I guess out of the the guy Power Rangers, it was like, you know, Billy was the nerd with the katanas.
I feel like all the guys wanted to be the red one because he had cool hair.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, that was totally my jam when I was in preschool.
All right, and we've got one here from Jennifer Anderson. She says, "Getting my best present this year from Eric and Jill." I know what she's referencing. That's our friend Eric Anderson, our resident therapist. They're about to have a baby any day.
Oh, no way!
So congratulations, Eric.
Everybody's having babies.
And Jennifer, a very loyal listener of the show and a patron. What was that next one say there, Donald?
Name the child after us. Anyways,
it'll be Jonathan.
Long pause. Yeah, Jonathan Jordan, whatever his last name is. This one is from Meg Lugerick. Chick.
Yeah,
possibly related to Rick.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, let's see. A pastel velour sleep shirt with a picture of Bobby Sherman on the front. That one severely out of touch aunt was the bane of Christmas mornings. That's interesting. Velour.
Oh man, we got Jonathan.
See, now it's on your brain.
Yeah, I know. Jonathan Kuhn says best was.
Whoa. What's the middle name?
I'm not gonna bother trying.
You try. You have to. We all. Hey, Johnny and I took our licks with Lugerick and Gas.
Jonathan Wickramazing Kuhn.
I guarantee you that's not a real name. He just put that in there to screw with us.
He says best was our four-wheeler that I was not expecting. I hadn't asked for it. Key was in the bottom of the stocking. Then I had to go open the garage to see what it went to. Well, that's a nice gift.
What if
great surprise.
What if he had no idea how to drive a four-wheeler? It was just sort of like, what would Jonathan like this year? Maybe a four-wheeler?
Oh, what does that everyone say, John?
All right, the next one, it says best was a Lego castle worst remote control car controlled by flexing your bicep. That exists.
Boy. Oh, that's terrible.
That's pretty weird.
Oh man, what is okay? You, Donovan.
We're just going down this list. Okay, next one. Ray LaFay. See, that's an easy name to. Thank you, Ray LaFay. Although I'm a little suspicious because they all rhyme, but we'll give you that. The time my mom got me the exact coat I wanted, I was stunned because my mom never gets the exact thing. Always something close to it. I felt really loved. Heart emoji. That is very special when you don't find the knockoff brand or
you get the real thing.
Yeah,
not like the knockoff.
Shows
Oreos.
They're listening.
A Rolex,
or that they're not cheap.
Rolex.
A Zodiac watch.
All right. This one comes from Lacey, my wife. She posted on our page. She said, my dad built our version of a Barbie dream house, a 4-foot house out of wood with 4 big rooms and a triangle-shaped attic. He put wallpaper on the walls and carpet and tile on the floors. He had built some furniture for it and painted the outside white. It was very special and a creative idea in the year where we were on a tight budget. We loved it so much and played with it all the time.
Wow, that's nice.
Gift. And she says the worst present she ever got, a high school boyfriend had his mom pick something for me. He told me so. And just got old lady slippers.
Oh, boy.
Romantic. It's important to note that I had saved up a lot of money to get him something cool, which adds to why this present was so crappy. Oh, yeah, that does suck.
How do you keep a Barbie dream house hidden until Christmas morning? No, that's my question.
Probably out in the garage.
Sounds like he was a
On
magician.
the roof, in the shed. I don't know.
On the roof.
They have a lot of place out in the country.
Kids never look up.
Patrick Southern says, best, a trampoline, rollerblades, and home laser tag. Not sure which. Worst, he's blocked it from his memory, he says.
It's probably a good idea.
All right. And on Twitter.
Can I read this one? Okay. So Dog Pants Media says, it was a banner year at the old Bender family. I got a carton of cigarettes. The old man grabbed me and said, hey, smoke up, Johnny. No, Dad, what about you?
Oh, man.
I recently watched that movie.
Oh,
so
no.
It's fresh in my mind. Actually, I don't know if it is the old Bender family. I think maybe it's the old Bender household.
Or is it? Maybe he changed it for this.
Dog Pants Media points to you for doing this.
Sammy says, worst, used underwear.
That's not real.
Oh, man.
Or whoever gave it to you hated you.
What does that next one say, John?
This Briar report, it says, I'm getting my wife new garbage cans this year, so she won't be able to use it as her favorite present ever since she hasn't gotten it yet.
That's from Briar Report. Briar Report, a loyal listener of the show. Thanks for that, Briar.
It's got a great avatar, too.
Yeah. Jacob Anderson says, best Christmas, a jointed tripod. Could use it immediately and always has a new use. That's pretty cool. He says, worst, a really cool lighter that further encouraged my smoking habit at the time.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny when people that you love and love you give you a lighter and you wonder, you're like, well, wait a minute, what? Like somebody
want me to die soon.
Yeah. I was like, thanks, but I didn't know that you knew about my cigarettes. But whatever.
We say as we're smoking Christmas pipes.
Well, it's a different habit.
All right. And Political Periphery says, not so much the presents themselves, but my girlfriend sent me Christmas to me in Afghanistan, a present, stocking, mini tree, etc. We never forget that. She's now been my wife for the past 7 years. Oh, well, that's a sweet gift, and thank you for your service.
Although I think it's rather presumptuous of you to think that he's a soldier. He may just be some guy in Afghanistan.
Well, if he's some guy in Afghanistan, he's definitely a light in a dark place.
What's that joke in It's Always Sunny where he's like, I didn't go to Vietnam just to be ripped off by taxes, and they're like, you went to Vietnam to open up a sweatshop. He's like, yeah.
Oh man.
Anyways, but yes, thank you for your service, Political Periphery.
We got another one. Seems to be a theme. Worst was underwear, and then Also from mjim8199 on Instagram says, best was hands down the He-Man and Skeletor castles all set up with the action figures around the tree.
Nerd.
Worst is my mother-in-law's attempt at cooking Christmas dinner each year.
Oh, burn. Hey, what about you guys? What would you say?
What would I say? I would say I've got a story, which I don't think it was the worst gift, but probably or best gift story. My brother and I were shopping for each other as kids. My parents would give us some money and we'd go find something at the dollar store. And there was this little ring. We'd go kind of look around the store and see what we'd like, and then we'd make a list based on what we'd like, and we'd give them to each other. And it was our jobs to shop for each other. And so there was this little ring toss game that was in the game section of the dollar store, and my brother was really into it. He's looking at it. He's like, "Oh, this looks like a fun game," all that stuff. I was like, "I know exactly what I'm going to buy him. I'm going to buy him the ring toss game." And so we went our separate ways. We took our time in the store, went in there to grab our things. I got the ring toss. Wasn't sure what he got me, but he was so excited about what he had got me for Christmas. He just couldn't wait to tell anyone. He's like, "You know what I got, Jordan? You know what I got, Jordan?" And I was always like, "Steven, you can't, I'm right here." All this stuff. Didn't want to hear what my present was. And at one point, my dad goes, we were all sitting around in the living room, and my dad goes, "All right, you can tell me. What do you get, Jordan?" And my brother covers his mouth and goes over to whisper to my dad in his ear and goes, "I got him a ring toss." He whispered it the loudest thing that he could ever, there was no subtlety to it, and also it was the same gift that he wanted.
Well, totally. Yeah, I was going to say, what a selfish bastard.
So we exchanged.
Oldest trick in the book.
So we both gave each other ring tosses on Christmas morning, but I knew it was coming. So I don't know. It's a good memory, but probably not the best gift.
That's like the worst form of that story by O. Henry, where the wife sells her hair to buy the husband a watch locket thing, and he sells his watch to buy her some hair combs.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's almost as bad as the Christmas shoes.
Can I buy these shoes?
What about you, John?
Oh, boy. Well, if it's a toy, I got a lot of mileage out of my Ghostbuster house. Aside from that, worst present, I had this one relative who liked to wrap stuff up from around their house, kind of like Aunt Bethany in Christmas Vacation.
No.
That was always kind of lame.
Where's the cat?
That's terrible. What about you, Donovan? Best and worst, if you could think of it.
Okay. So I didn't get a lot of bad Christmas presents, actually. So it sounds like I'm gloating about growing up in a nice household. But my best, I would definitely say, was the Millennium Falcon toy. It was like the one that had the panel that removed, and I got a Han Solo action figure with it and a Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
So that was like super exciting, and it had all sorts of things like little light up lights and stuff. So that was a classic toy. The worst, maybe juggling balls. Or
that's pretty cool. I would have been into that as a kid,
dude.
I was into magic and stuff.
No, I got these when I was 22.
Oh,
and I was well past any dreams of becoming a master juggler. I mean, granted, I remember we used to juggle in gym. It was that stupid thing. In
you mean in your shorts?
Not. No, but I was.
It's not even funny.
It's not
gross. I was 6 at the time. No, but it was that stupid thing where the gym teacher tries to teach you, these skills. And I remember the only one that I could do was scarves because they were super slow.
Really?
they would float through the air, so I could juggle those.
What kind of a gym teacher considers juggling a skill?
She was a clown.
When we were in
her spare time
in elementary school. Also in gym class, they they had the ribbons on the pole.
That I never understood. Like that seems to be something that people do at beauty pageants to prove that they have skill.
Oh man!
I mean, I guess beautiful people don't have to really do much. So,
how do you like that holiday spirit? By the way,
oh, it's great.
You know,
I love it. Yeah,
you like that pipe?
Yeah, this pipe is it's a fun.
If you like it, it's yours. You can have it. Merry Christmas.
Oh, well, thank you, Jordan. I feel like this is a trap.
No,
I feel like all of a sudden
there's
this
nothing
is
wrong
going
with
to
it.
be
I just
like,
got too many pipes.
oh man, that's very nice of you. Way to just, I feel
know
like
you don't have a briar, right?
I feel like I'm being proposed to at a Dodgers game in front of millions of people. Honestly,
No, I know.
So
you
what's
know.
your answer?
You don't have a briar though, right? You don't have.
No, I don't have a briar.
There
I
you
just
go.
have
You can
a crummy corn
that thing,
cob.
I've only smoked that thing like once ever, and it's
makes me
it's
happy.
from the it was fully restored. It's the one from John's Pipe Shop in Los Angeles.
That's great. Well, thank you.
No
Thank you very
problem.
much, sir.
No problem.
You are a gentleman and a scofflaw.
You are a gentleman of Scott. Wait, it's not the end of the show yet. We got to go to a quick break.
Fooled you.
We got to go to a quick break, and we'll be back actually with an interview with an elf from the North Pole, and later on also a holiday gift guide with Douglas Smythe of Phoenix Shaving.
Hi, this is Walker Lamond, author of Rules for My Unborn Son. The best Christmas present I ever received was my first Sony Walkman. It was 1983, and little did I know what a profound effect that present would have on me. For inside that little machine was a tape that would change my life forever. The original soundtrack from the motion picture Flashdance. I knew then that I was a maniac on the floor, and I was dancing like I've never danced before. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Okay, so we've got a fun interview coming up now. This guy, he's an elf in the North Pole. And Mr. Elf, do you have a name, a title other than Elf? What is it?
Hey, yeah, I do. I'm actually, my name is Jimmy the Elf. I thank you for that very uplifting introduction. It really set me up for success here in this interview.
Jimmy, do you need me to get you another phone book or something to stand on?
You know what? I can make it work. I can make it work.
Sure.
I'm used to, I'm used to this kind of thing.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Yeah. I'm always looking to do some fun stuff this time of year. It's good to get away from the office, the old office. You know what I mean? Get out.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the office? What's the office like these days?
Well, of course, I work at the North Pole in the toy factory. That's what I do. Is I make toys all day, and I work on the yo-yos.
I see.
The yo-yos, that's my assembly line. I twist together the two parts, and I put the rope on there, and that's what I do for a living.
Seems like a pretty easy job.
What's your quota?
Quota? Oh, gosh. I gotta make 50 frickin' yo-yos a day. 50.
Seems low.
The old guy's got me busting my ass making yo-yos. 50 a day.
How many hours do you work a day?
Oh, gosh, the working conditions, you wouldn't believe it, guys,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
I have to get in there about, I'd say, probably about 9 o'clock, give or take a few minutes.
Okay, that's,
And then I'm there.
relatable.
I don't leave until about 6 o'clock.
Okay,
Like, come on, old
you
man.
get- you get-
what are you running, a sweatshop
You
here?
you get some lunch in there and everything?
Yeah, listen to this, guys. I get an hour break for lunch.
8 hours with an hour lunch. Yeah, that's pretty standard there, Jiminy.
No, come on. The guy's cracking cracking.
And wait, I mean, like all over, like how many yo-yos per hour is this? This is like, wait, can somebody do the math here? Don't we have like an intern in the
I don't
office?
remember what it is. I just make the yo-yos.
Wait, okay, you're making 50 yo-yos a day
Yes.
over an 8-hour period. That's like roughly less than 5 yo-yos an hour, but all you're doing is twisting them together and putting the string in there, right?
Yeah, it's hard work,
I mean,
okay?
you're not carving the yo-yo.
No, but what I do takes skill, right? Okay?
Are you paid by the yo-yo, or are you
does.
paid by the hour?
I am paid by the hour.
Also, what's the currency in North Pole? I mean, I know it's a whole other thing.
Bitcoin.
Oh, I see. So did you make a bit of a killing recently with that?
I made nothing.
Oh, well, why did they pay you in Bitcoin then?
I used all of my Bitcoin on my Christmas vacation.
Oh, I see. Well,
Where'd you go?
kinda
South
sucks.
Pole?
No, I went to Boston.
Oh, interesting.
I'm a fan of U.S. history.
So, what's it like working for Santa?
Santa,
Or-
okay?
Well, do you call him that, or do you have a different moniker?
Yeah,
Mr. Claus?
everybody around, the world likes to call him, Santa Claus, Kris Kringle, Saint Nick, more like Demon Nick.
Oh, I thought you were going to go. See, I would expect you to be a little bit more clever than that. I thought you were going to go with something like Satan Claus or
Well, that
Satan Nick.
That would have a lot better alliteration.
Well, maybe you are working too many hours. It seems like your wit's a little bit.
Yeah.
Off.
Well, see, I've been trying to get a petition going, okay? Because this guy is a total jackass.
Okay.
He's got me working 8 hours a day, only a break for lunch. The only health care we have is catastrophic and a health savings card.
Okay.
So I'm like, maybe we should start a union, okay? I'm busting my ass making 50 yo-yos a day. How am I supposed to get through that? How am I supposed to feed my wife and kids and have, get this, I only get 2 weeks of vacation and holidays. That's it.
That sounds.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah, I don't want to talk out of school here, but that sounds like a pretty standard.
Okay,
good deal.
let's talk about
Not
the
a bad
working
deal.
conditions. What's the atmosphere like in the workshop? Is it freezing cold?
Well, it's very, it's room temperature all the time. Always room temperature. Perfectly 76 degrees, room temperature. It's annoying as hell, okay? And I gotta work at it.
Whoa, hey Jimmy, just take a minute to compose yourself. You're getting a little.
I gotta work at a desk,
frothing at the
okay?
mouth.
I gotta work at a
Take
desk.
away one of these phone books.
I gotta work at this desk, okay? It's just me at this desk,
Okay.
and I'm making yo-yos, okay? That's what I'm supposed to do
Like
all
a
day. It's a
cubicle?
little dungeon of a desk, okay? I've got. It's made out of it's old vintage wood, okay?
Yeah.
And I've got a pencil holder, and I've got the tools that they lay out for me right there, and I've got the calendar right above my desk, so they can tell me how many days I have left for Christmas. And I sit there at my desk. I've got a little phone there. I've got a little
Okay,
candy
maybe you
dish.
just show us a picture. I mean, instead of describing things, bit by bit. I mean,
All right,
we've only got
let me
so
show
much
you what it
time
looks
here.
like here.
Johnny's 3 hours ahead. Yeah, that's that actually looks pretty nice. Honestly, you even have a chimney near your desk. You have a fireplace.
It's not working. It's all aesthetic.
Well,
Are those
still,
stockings hung with care?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the man's motivation, okay?
You have an assistant who's in the picture, like somebody who you don't even have to go and get lunch.
Yeah, she's an idiot.
Well,
She sits there. She can't even make the
I don't
yo-yos
know.
right for me.
so let me get this straight. You want to unionize?
Yeah, get all the guys together. We need some benefits.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't help but feel like actually no. I see this out of your back pocket here. What is this? Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx.
No, that's it's Christmas decoration.
Have you been, maybe you haven't been going to Boston. Are you more interested in Russian history these days, Jimmy?
No, I'm
You
not
sure about
interested
that?
in Russia.
Yeah.
No Russia.
Yeah.
No Russia
it
for
seems
me.
Like, it seems like you're a bit of an instigator here.
No,
I
I'm
don't know.
not. I just want to make sure everybody gets treated fairly.
Might be called into the council of unelfian activities.
No, that has nothing to do with that. I just want to make sure that we're getting paid well. Okay, we're at least getting. Maybe next year we could start making $20 an hour instead of $15.
More of like I see. So Down here in the States, we have a Fight for 15 movement going on right now where people are trying to
maybe 15 is not enough.
I guess here's the question that I really am getting at, looking towards the future. Are you sure that Santa Claus isn't going to, let's say, what's the word? Get into AI.
Replace you.
Yeah, replace you with, let's say, a model of artificial intelligence. Because what you do, honestly, Jimmy, I don't mean to insult you. I mean, I like your little get up, your tights, and your little jingle boots, but you seem to have it pretty good. You're not doing a job that's super specialized.
Lose the goatee, though. That doesn't work.
Easy for you to say.
The goatee
easy for you to say.
is a bit much.
Okay, I mean, we only have catered lunch on Fridays. Where's the rest of our lunch?
I hear you, brother. That actually is something that I'm also very much up in arms about.
Well, you better watch it there, Jimmy. You might end up in a reindeer accident if you keep this up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I need a union for protection, right? That's what I need. You guys can, tell your friends that, maybe they don't get any Christmas gifts from Santa because of the working conditions.
How much
or because
influence?
of the lack of benefits.
Sounds like extortion.
Wait, that sounds like you're making some threats here.
Something negative.
I mean, we welcomed you into our
protest.
studio to talk about Christmas cheer, what it's like to be an elf. To be honest, you're turning into a bit of a prick. And I don't know if I like your attitude.
I'm just trying to make sure. I'm just trying to make sure all the kids get their Christmas gifts ethically, and everybody's happy. That's all. That's all.
You know what else is ethical?
What?
Elf meat.
Oh. No, now them's fighting words. I'm coming after you.
Wait, well, he's in Canada. Take it easy, okay? You can punch the computer all you want, but it's not going to help. Well, you sound very ungrateful, Jimmy, and honestly,
go away.
It makes me a little wary to know that you're behind the toys that are coming to the children around the world. Like, what are you going to do with like lead paint or
hey, come
asbestos?
On. Hey, it's not my fault I don't pay a living wage and have health benefits and all that stuff.
I don't know, man. I think if you keep this up, you may end up on the list of Trump's travel ban.
Right.
Maybe North Pole.
Now you've gone too far. I'm out of here, guys. You guys
coming down here sprouting un-American
I
ideas.
thought you guys would be a sympathetic audience. Obviously, I didn't know my
that
others.
idea? We just smoke.
You
and
guys
drink.
are wearing Christmas sweaters.
So that tells you that we want to be socialists?
You guys don't know what you're talking about, okay? I'm going to leave now, and you two have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh, you can't even speak English, jeez.
I meant it sarcastically.
Okay, Jimmy. All right, Jimmy. Don't
Pat her off.
Yeah, pat her off. Don't let the. How's he going to get out of here? You can't access a doorknob. Jeez, that was weird, wasn't it?
I'm glad he's
never
gone.
met an elf. I don't really know what he thought we could do. I mean,
you got to screen these guys a little more.
I think honestly, Jordan, he sets these guests up, and they're just the worst.
Okay, let's go to a break.
Yeah, okay,
I think we both need it.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? This is Eric Anderson Counseling. I just want to give you a call and say it's been great being part of the show and connecting with you guys in the Scofflaw community. You guys are a ton of fun. Wanted to share some thoughts on some Christmas experiences growing up and the best present I ever got. For me, it was 10 years old. I got the Nintendo 64. And it was, at the time, there were so many reports coming out about how it was completely sold out, and you'd be totally unable to find one. And, even at 10, it was even more proof for me that Santa Claus still existed when I got one there. And I'm not, I still take it out and play it every once in a while. I'm not a gamer by any means, but, I'm always love the nostalgia of busting out the old console and, playing some old favorites, Mario, Zelda, all those. Anyway, the worst present I ever got, it was a shared present between me and one of my sister, and it was one of those terrible, Furbies. If you remember those, they were the hot toy at the time. As many, kids and families soon found out after they got them for Christmas, it was impossible to shut those things up once they got once they got going and talking, it was kind of on the back end of the Tamagotchi Gigapet craze, and they thought it would be a good idea to have a physical robot pet there, and the idea totally backfired. And it was soon, we just took the batteries out and stuffed it in the back of the closet for a few years until we eventually chucked that thing. But for all the hype of those things, that was by far the worst present I remember getting. So anyway, again, thank you guys so much for what you guys do, and allowing me to be part of the show over this past year. Also, you guys should know you have a new fan on the way, as I have a little gentleman and Scofflaw arriving any day now. So anyway, Merry Christmas. You guys are awesome, and looking forward to more shows coming Christmas.
All right. I'm excited about this next guest, and our listeners are excited about this next guest from one of our most popular episodes, and the owner of our sponsorship and collaboration with Phoenix Shaving, Douglas Smythe of Phoenix Shaving. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, it's good to be here. Happy holidays, everybody.
There you are. And for those of you who can't see Douglas, he is in his is that your kerchief and your cap? Is that what it is? It's like a night before Christmas.
I thought I'd do a nightcap for the show, thematic, and go as Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, there you go. You got the stocking cap and everything.
Yeah, and I'm wearing the man skirt too. Look at this thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what's sexy.
That looks really comfortable.
It is super comfortable.
I feel like that's comfortable to walk around in, but not to sleep in. I don't know.
Well,
am I wrong?
Thing throws me off. I don't believe they were wearing these. You know what I mean? Like at that time. And why were they wearing? Who wears a hat to bed?
Well, we didn't have any heaters,
or
right?
Cap.
That's because you lose most of your heat from your head.
They didn't know that back then, though. This is before science.
It's before science. It's before like germ theory, when people are always like, oh yeah,
tiny little man living in my nose.
Like people always use that thing where they're like, oh, they gave infected blankets to the native Indians. It's like they did not know about biological warfare back then. They did a lot of horrible things, but biological warfare was probably not one of them.
I lived in Amherst. I went to school in Amherst, and I lived there after the fact for like 15 years. So I was like a prolonged, college extended life at the time, semi-charmed. And that's where that went down. Amherst was named after Lord Jeffrey, who supposedly did that, gave the blankets to the Native Americans and whatnot. So I thought it'd be a cool idea to set up like a theme park there, like these big doll-sized Lord Jeffreys walking around, at the tourist booth. They could be selling blankets to the tourists and so on. I don't know.
That'd be
I don't know
good.
how to go over, but it's Amherst.
I don't know.
He's probably turning in his grave. He's like, I was just trying to be nice.
Lord Belchertown. I actually lived in a place called Belchertown for a short while as well, and no one would take me serious when I was trying to order anything, like over the phone back in the day. Okay, and the town you live in, Belchertown, and I try to say it like really serious, but when you do that, you sound like you're screwing with people. So like,
oh yeah, it's like, what's your name? Bend over. I live in Belchertown.
Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but. Anyways, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
And, again, happy holidays. I got in trouble the other day. Not in trouble, but like I started this whole what is up with the holidays? You can't say happy holidays without someone giving you grief for saying happy holidays.
Yeah, now it's turned.
Grief for saying Merry Christmas last week.
Did you really? Because typically it's the people that give you grief over saying happy holidays are dead set on like someone's taking their rights away to say Merry Christmas. I'm finding it's always some old white dude's like, oh, why can't you say Merry Christmas? It's like, well, I don't know. I'm trying to be all inclusive. It's freaking holidays. With everything going on in the world right now, you're getting mad at me for saying happy holidays?
Well, it's like really? It's so silly. I know there are a lot of people that hate that hate when people say happy holidays because they think it's a war on Christmas. But I'm like, that's still a well wish. Like that's not. They're not saying anything bad. People will be like, somebody says happy holidays, and I've seen people go, it's Merry Christmas. I was like, you're being a jerk to that person. They just wished you happy holidays.
Exactly. It's the worst thing in the world. And it's like I have a business, so I have to really think about what I say to people anyways.
Yeah.
So now
sure.
I'm like, do I write happy holidays? Well, what would my Jewish clientele think? Or what would my Kwanzaa celebrating clientele? I have to I can't say it anymore. I didn't even know it was a thing. I've been saying it for years. Again, I lived in Amherst for about 15 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that's just what people say. I mean, it's happy holidays. I didn't know I didn't think it was a PC thing. No one's ever come at me, said you must say happy holiday. It's just something we do. But I can't believe it. Yeah, when people give me grief over that, it's really? Dude, you're harsh and I'm mellow. It's freaking Christmas here.
Yeah, I'd say Merry Christmas unless there's, and then unless I know somebody doesn't celebrate it, and I'll say Happy Holidays. And if I'm unsure, I say Happy Holidays. And I'm not. It's not about being politically correct. It's just about trying to relate to them.
Considerate. It's just being considerate and nice. I don't think this was in the PC dictionary at all.
No.
But someone just turned it into that. Well, they're trying to take away my Christmas. Damn communists. I don't know.
Exactly.
I know the solution to that problem.
Uh-oh.
Never wish anything good to anyone ever.
That's what they want.
That's what you got to do. Well, speaking of the holidays, whether you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, which Festivus for the rest of us,
Feats of strength.
Men are going to be getting some stuff. They're going to be getting stuff from family members, from their wives, their girlfriends. What are some things, their fathers, sisters, brothers? What are some things that, every gentleman needs as a stocking stuffer or in their toolkit, to be dapper?
To be dapper. It's a damn good question.
Dapper.
Never asked. Jordan, my biggest, one of my biggest, pet peeves in life has always been the stocking. That's the part where people just give up. They just start sticking anything in there. They got you the great gifts. They're all under the tree. But when it comes to the stocking, it's more like a decoration that just kind of sexed up with deodorant or stuff that was standing in line and just pick,
Yeah. I always get chapstick.
There, candy. And it's not good candy either. It's that ribbon candy.
Oh,
what's that all about?
Ribbon candy.
It's a Christmas thing. Okay, for this I'm going to be very specific. It's Christmas. It's not a holiday candy. Christmas can have that. But the ribbon candy, just all types of crap. And so I'm here to change all that. I want guys, in fact, gentlemen, if you're listening to this show right now, please hand over the headphones to your significant other because I'm going to tell her what you want and what you need. This sock is going to be killer. So that said, I want to do the stocking stuffing right. And so I'm going to de-stuff my stocking for all of you.
Oh, there you go. Oh, your stocking. Okay, there it is.
This is a radio show.
That's all right. So you've got a big stocking there.
Size matters.
Yeah, it does. Especially when it comes to stockings.
I do. I have a huge.
Whoa.
Huge.
And it's packed too.
It's filled to the brim.
Lost time for a lot of shitty Christmases. You get socks. You get socks within socks. That always confused me. I felt like it was giving birth almost. But the thing is,
they're multiplying.
Some people wrap the stuff they stick in stockings as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of alliteration going on right now. Make me dizzy. In fact.
No, that's all right.
Get back to it.
No, it's part of the holiday thing. It's like a Christmas poem.
Oh, nice.
So, what do you
got? Rhyme this entire time?
Yeah, if you could rhyme the entire time, you'd be like Eminem.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm 41 years old. I don't know. Maybe I should know what that means.
I don't know. I never really listened to Eminem growing up, but I just know he's a rhyming guy.
Toothpaste, though.
Yeah.
Toothpaste. That's kind of a big deal in stockings traditionally.
It's true.
Right?
A little travel size always for me. I always get travel size. Yeah.
Check this out though. This is by Marvis.
Oh, nice.
Are you familiar with Marvis?
I've never actually used it, but I know it's fancy.
It's made in Italy. They do a bunch of different grooming products and wet shaving products and whatnot, or barbering products.
Yeah.
So this one right here is a cinnamon.
Oh, nice.
Yes, they do a bunch of different almost gourmet type toothpaste. This one right here is ginger mint.
Oh, nice.
Here's another one here, a whitening mint, whatever that means. But the fact of the matter is they're like gourmet toothpaste that you can really, the stocking doesn't have to suck. It actually can have really cool stuff that you traditionally put in there, but just better gourmet versions of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and they're really easy to get. A lot of stuff is sold in the United States. So that one is Marvis.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Nice
and then there's another one called Kuto.
Oh, wow. These are fancy looking boxes.
Very
nice.
Yeah. Well, it's how we roll. This one's from Portugal. Couto. So it's another one that's really neat if you want to sex up your stocking. And then lastly, Theodent.
Oh.
This looks like a box of Godiva chocolates. And this is like a $10 tube of toothpaste. So it's really about love with this one. But this stuff, honestly, is like the best toothpaste I've ever used. This is made in the States. Did we just lose John?
Oh,
I'm still here. I lost all you guys.
I think it's just his video is lagging behind.
I think are you back?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You're all frozen.
As long as we can hear you, we're good. You'll come back eventually.
But Theodent, this one is like, if you really want to impress somebody, don't take it out of the box and just like leave it on the coffee table.
Yeah.
It's an instant conversation piece. But if you do want to use it, this stuff is awesome. It's some of the best toothpaste I've ever used, and it should be for the price tag.
Yeah.
But Theodent.
Okay,
and
Theodent.
You can find this at like Whole Foods, different health food stores in the States.
Okay, cool.
Or on my site too at phoenixshaving.com.
There you go.
But excellent stuff. Another thing is body soap. For the last 40 years, I've always received something about body soap in my stocking. How about you? You guys ever get soap in your stocking?
I do.
And soap on a rope.
Soap on a rope.
Yeah. And what do you do with that?
I'm not sure what the rope's for exactly, but it smells really good.
I think, John, that's prison soap. I think that's what that's for. But yeah, I usually I put things in for like small things that I like that people will get me for my stockings. Like I like pine tar soap, and so I've gotten that a couple of times in the stocking before, which is kind of fun.
Oh, so you're actually getting stuff that you like in your stocking?
I try to.
I'm just projecting during this entire thing right now. I'm always just completely let down. I hope my mom's listening. But she listens to every episode, guys. I just want to know.
Wow. That's crazy.
Well, anyways, back to soap. Sex it up. Have you ever tried this stuff?
Oh, no, but I've seen it. I've smelled it in the stores. It smells amazing.
This is from Rhode Island, actually, Cranston, Rhode Island, but it comes off like it's European. And it's this refreshing, like seaside scent that is quite magical. And it's very popular. A lot of guys you'll see using this.
Yeah,
and
it looks cool, kind of sailor looking, and with the anchor on the box.
And it's pretty long lasting. It's a small, as you can see. You guys can't. No one can see except for you, Jordan, at this point. But it's a small little puck, but perfect for the stocking. It's all about fitting in the stocking.
Yeah, definitely.
Another thing is a razor.
Oh, there you
typically
go.
get those cartridge razors or those a pack of blades in your stocking, because you don't buy them on your own anymore when they cost $30 a pack.
No.
Wait for your mother or your sister to give you a pack of cartridge blades.
Yeah.
Well, you can give the gift of a safety razor too. I mean, a safety razor is going to fit perfectly in a stocking, especially the Bakelite ones that we have over at Phoenix Shaving.
Yeah.
They're cheap. Well, they're cheap in price, and they fit perfectly in a stocking.
Yeah,
so
those are
there's
great.
that, and I think it's a cool little gift too that fits in a stocking.
Yeah, and that box is really cool too. It's got like Spartacus on it.
Spartacus 2012.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like Flash Gordon.
Yeah, there you go.
See what we want. Another thing, pre-shave jelly.
Oh, nice.
Pre-shave jelly. You can up your shave game at the same time when you're stuffing a stocking. And again, gents, I hope that you've given the headphones over or the speakers over to your girlfriend at this point because you're going to enjoy this. Beard oil.
Oh, there you go.
Since No Shave November or Movember, we've been growing out our facial hair. For those of us who don't know how to follow the rules of Movember.
Yeah. Apparently there are rules.
Supposed to cut it off on day 30, but who does that?
Yeah.
But beard oil, it's also a perfect gift for a stocking. I mean, this one, the bottle I'm holding up is 2 ounces, but they come as small as, I think, half an ounce.
And what's cool is you do them with all the scents on your site, right? In the beard, or most of them?
The beard oils we do, you can pair with any one of our shave soap scents or aftershaves. So you can, I mean, I don't know. We do offer that. I don't do that myself, though. I just use a scentless one, and I don't wear beard oil during the day.
Yeah,
I think it makes your beard look all just greasy and gross, like you just crawled out of the back alleys.
Yeah,
just at night before I go to bed. While I'm watching TV, I put it in and let it just absorb.
Yeah,
So when I hit the pillow, it doesn't leave a stain there, like Soul Glow. But,
Soul Glow.
I think it's the best way to use beard oil. So if anyone's listening and looking for advice on beard oil, wear it at night when you're in bed, and it's going to condition your beard overnight while you sleep, rather than during the day where the sun's hitting it, it's all shiny and greasy. It's like,
yeah, I'm like, I got to get some of that stuff because I've grown mine out, and I'm going to go till the new year, and I'll probably get rid of it, but it gets prickly. You need to have some.
Yeah, it can. It can definitely get pretty. I use, honestly, they sell so many products now for beards.
Yeah.
Like men never grew beards back in the day. Like back in the 90s, we didn't have all this. We didn't have beard oil and beard brushes and beard combs and beard conditioner. We used regular conditioner. I mean, like, it just, everyone and their mother is now selling this stuff, and I don't think you need it. I really don't think so. I mean, I think I have a pretty bitchin' beard right now. And I always,
pretty good.
Always had one here and there, and never used all the product they offer now. It's unbelievable. So I'd say, you can overthink a beard, as with anything else. But with all these niche hobbies and with the internet now, people are just putting all this stuff out there that you really don't need. So beard oil is great. I definitely think it's great to soften your skin and take care of soften the follicles and the skin underneath. But at the end of the day, I mean, even aloe vera, like aloe vera gel, you rub that through your beard, it gets the skin underneath and it takes care of it. I mean, you don't have to overthink it, is what I'm saying.
Those of us that prefer to be clean shaven, what new scents do you have? I saw you have one called Magi.
Oh, Magi.
Magi.
Magi. That is, that's frankincense and myrrh primarily.
I like the sound of that.
Nice.
It's really it's magical stuff. In fact, magi is the same root as magic. Because the three wise men were actually, they think, three magicians.
Wow.
If that even happened. Can someone explain to me that whole three wise? That's just like this curveball they throw you in the Bible. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, by the way, there was three wise men there that gave stuff. But I want to hear their story. I think someone needs to do a movie called like Magi.
I think one of them might have been a pediatrician.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, I remember learning that it's actually a myth or not a myth, but a misconception that there are three that's from the songs and the Christmas movies and stuff, but it just mentions wise men, not a number. There's three gifts mentioned, and I think that's probably why people say three wise men. But how do we know that the other guys weren't moochers and just one guy had all the gifts?
Well, they all chipped in, like, we got you a sweater.
Maybe it's a translation problem. They weren't wise men; they were wise guys cracking jokes.
That's it.
And the thing is, they didn't make it there when he was a baby either. From what I understand, they got there years after too. Like, when he was old. I don't know. It's just like it's a curveball. We need to talk more about this. In fact, let's turn the rest of this podcast into an exploration of the three magi. Or not. But someone look that up and get back to me in a future episode.
For sure. That's fun.
Another thing. Travel razor.
Nice.
This is flipping awesome, especially for the holidays, especially if you're already traveling. This is a little travel kit that I sell, but there's lots of different ones out there. And a little tip or advice for if you're traveling this season with a travel razor, a razor that you don't often use. I'm talking about a safety razor, by the way, for those of you listening. Practice with it a week before you actually hit the road. Just so you're used to it when you get to wherever you're going. Because often, back in the day, rather, I used to, have a travel razor that I would only use when I traveled, and I'd always I always had the worst shaves. And this would typically happen around like a meetup, because I travel, go to different wet shaving meetups. I'm the guy that's supposed to be, perfectly shaved, know what I'm talking about, and I get there and I have like razor burn and everything because I was using like gear that I don't often use. Plus, I typically shave in the shower too. I have a whole setup at home. So, but now I'm on the road. I'm in the hotel in front of the mirrors always suck in hotels.
That's true.
They fog up and everything else. And you got to lean over the sink. I'm just not in a sink shaver. So I'm adjusting there.
Whoops.
Advice: if you're traveling with a razor, you want to look good. Practice with your gear before you actually hit the road. Yeah,
that makes sense. I've had little like razors too that that were just in my kit, and then I do it, and like they were much more aggressive than I was used to, and I'd just be bleeding all over the place. And I leave one at my parents' place that was like a little cheapo, like it was like a $5 razor or something, and I always go, I've got a razor there the last couple of years, and then I just screw up my face. And I'm like, I'm not going to use that razor anymore.
Yeah. Well, now I'm here to tell you, you can still use it. Just practice with it. Before. Visit them a week earlier. No, wait, that's but yeah, no, it's just so true.
Yeah.
You know, and I missed one of my soaps when I was going on about soaps.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You can go on about it.
Okay, yeah. Magno.
Oh, nice.
Look at this stuff.
That looks great.
Magno. I mean, the package alone. I just wanted for the package to tell you the truth.
Those look like they look like fancy condoms.
What are those? The Magnums. I mean, of course, I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. But that's...
Give me a pack of Magnums. Small plastics. But yeah, Magno. It is. It does look like that. So that's your mnemonic mental device for folks to remember out there. But Magno, it's a black box. You're not going to see this though on the counter anywhere. You have to order this. This is made in Barcelona.
Oh, nice.
Or Barcelona.
There you go.
Yeah. But this is excellent soap, and it's like the oval shaped ones that really like fit the armpit.
Oh perfectly. Yeah. Those
you
are
almost
good.
want to leave it there.
Yeah.
It's long lasting. I've been using this recently, and it's about 2 months. Still in my shower, still looking good. It's the soap that won't die.
Really? Wow.
So. And it's black too. It's really cool. You're not going to lose it.
Now, you might know this better. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but is it true that like with bar soaps, if you take them out and like of the package and let them like stay in the air for a couple of days before using them, that they'll last much longer? I read that somewhere.
Yeah, that's how you make soap. That's called curing.
Okay.
So, like when you do make a cold process soap, you want to cure it for a couple of weeks. But there's some soap makers in Turkey that will cure their soaps in caves for 7 to 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, before they even make it to the market. And yeah, that'll make it harder because it loses water. The longer it cures, the more water it loses. It becomes more compressed. It'll be harder and longer lasting. So, yeah, that's true. In fact, with your shave soap, what I do with my shave soap, rather, is I leave the lids off the jars. I just have them on top of my shower, but I leave it off all the time. I don't relid them ever.
Oh, wow. That's a good.
Can't tell what they are because there's no lid on them with the label anymore. But they're gonna last forever, you know.
Yeah,
and,
that's awesome.
People look at me weird, but no, that's the best thing you can do. That's why soap dishes rock. The travel cases that people use for like traveling soap, like those are the worst things for your soap because anything that gets wet, you just don't want to lock it up and seal it away. You want to let it air dry.
It gets all soft and mushy, like a layer of mushiness on it, which is gross.
Stuff can grow in there. You know, you don't want that. And that back to shaving soap. That's why when you're done loading your brush and when you're done shaving, you leave the lid off your soap for a few hours before you relit it and put it away if that's what you're going to do.
Okay.
Some people make the mistake and don't do that, and then they blame the soap or the maker for that problem. It's like, no, that's user error all the way. You got to let it air dry.
Yeah, I don't think I ever put anything wet away at all. Like let it dry first. Yeah.
You would be surprised how many people do that. And it's like, how did you get this far in life without someone holding your hand through it? You know, I mean, like, I
had a roommate in college that would always leave his towel on the floor. I was like, that's how you grow mold. Just hang it on the corner of the door or on a handle, or like you don't just put it somewhere so that it can air out.
Like, then he would pick it up off the floor and dry himself off with it again or something. I mean, like,
yeah. And the thing is, like, I don't like with towels that have had any mold on them whatsoever, like you can wash them thousands of times after, they still smell that way.
Oh yeah, you gotta like leave them in the sun and like pray over them. There's a few different things you have to do.
Get some frankincense and myrrh.
Yeah, frankincense, myrrh. Invite your 3 best friends.
Yeah.
Mo, Larry, I don't know. Another thing, moving back to the sock.
Yeah, there we go.
This right here, my friend, is Intenso.
Okay, that's
Intenso. I can't tell you where it's from. It's from London, in fact. But this, what I'm showing them, is it's a cologne sample. It's actually a very small bottle of cologne. It's probably like 1.5 milliliters of cologne. But you can get any cologne, area in the mall or whatnot. You can always get samples and vials. I have vials here. I actually sell sample vials of my own stuff. But this is perfect for a stocking. It's just like a one use.
Yeah.
It's a great, I don't know. I love something. I collect aftershaves and colognes anyway. So if I can get a sample of something I might be interested in, even if I've never heard of it before, I'll still collect it. They're like stamps to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Or women. Awesome.
Your binder is full of women.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have a line for if the ladies want to shave their legs?
No, I don't. I should probably work. I don't.
But you have some scents that probably would fit more feminine than masculine on some things, right? Some more like fruity stuff might probably be something they like.
Even my Dapper Doc, the Doc Holiday, that's actually what is it? It's fig and lilac, which back in the day, though, the Victorian times, that's what men were wearing.
Yeah.
And actually, florals are big in Europe, too, especially Germany. So the stuff that we would find a little foo-foo over here is quite manly other places and other times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some stuff that would definitely cross over. Like I have a lime ginger tea tree oil that women love. I have another one that's sage, like desert sage, that both men and women love. And stuff like lime, citruses, even like the holiday stuff, the peppermint one that I have called cane it's a North Pole barbershop is what I was going for. But people, I mean, it's unisex. There's a lot of scents that are unisex. In fact, most like colognes started off as perfumes, like classic ones, and just again, as times change, so do the scents and flavors, I guess. Potassium alum. Yeah. This should be in every shaver's kit.
That stuff's great.
It's a block that I'm holding before the gentleman here. Yeah. But this stuff is like nature's aftershave. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years. The ancient Egyptians used to use it, ancient Chinese. This stuff cures acne. I'm telling you. I wish I knew about this in high school. But if you are acne prone, I'm telling you, this will stop it. But it's also great for after a shave. This is an old barber's trick. They wet this and rub it on your face after the fact.
Yeah.
And it's an astringent. It tones the skin as well. Most people say closes the pores, but that's a big misconception. If you could close your pores with cold water or alum, you would die from suffocation. If you jump into the pool, you jump into the pool, it's too cold, you die. Yeah. So that's not true. But I'm telling you, this stuff really is magic stuff. It also gives you grip on your razor. If you're using a slippery razor or whatnot, this will rub your fingers on this, and it's a sticky grip.
Yeah, that stuff is awesome. I use it all the time.
It's magical.
And I like that new logo on it too. The old one I have is got the one I have has the older logo, but I like that new one, the polar bear with your hat, signature hat on it.
I didn't realize you had the other one. Yeah, that's cool. The new one here.
That's awesome.
Based on my dog's a Malamute, and we kind of looks like a polar bear, so this is kind of a indirect. Why didn't I put my dog on here? But just something that represents my dog. I don't know. I'm an artist, but the fact is, this stuff, it's small. It's in a travel case. It fits great in a sock. So alum or alum, depending on where you're from. Look that up. Soap samples. These come in little tiny jars. Lots of artisans and vendors sell samples of different soaps. These travel so well, but not only that, they fit great in a stocking. So. If you don't know what to buy him, he likes artisan shaving soap. You can't lose by picking up a few sample packs.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And if he already has the full size, he can stick this in his DOP kit or his travel kit. Yeah, and
that's a great
travel. And deodorant. So I'm not. So I mean, again, I was bummed out when I got the Men in deodorant back in the day, or the Old Spice stuff. But not mine. I make deodorant as well, but this stuff actually matches, some of my favorite and your favorite soaps. So it's deodorant that you want, or deodorant that he wants. That should be in the stock.
Yeah. I got to get some. I don't know if you make a tombstone one yet in deodorant, but I'd like to get some of that so I can match everything.
Oh yeah, you just placed an order, didn't you?
Yeah. I got some beard oil.
Oh, you did get the beard oil. Okay.
I did. Yeah.
Tombstone deodorant, I don't think we do, because the thing is, it changes from medium to medium.
Okay.
Like the originally, I just made the aftershave. It wasn't working as a soap. It was just smelling like you walked into a shoe store. The soap was, you just get hit with leather, because soap is so one dimensional. It doesn't have time to develop the scent, dry down like an aftershave would or whatnot. So it's really just one dimensional in that regard, where the top notes are going to hit you, or if the base notes are really strong, they're going to hit you first. And that's the only thing you're going to ever smell. So I had to really tweak it out, the blend, before I made it into a soap. And the same thing can be said for a deodorant too. That wears differently as well. So now you get it in a hot spot. And so, but I mean, it's really, I never even thought about it, but you're right. I probably should work on.
Giving you
Based on it, Jordan.
more work to do. No.
Yeah, I gotta go. I got things to do. But, shaving brushes. Shaving brushes. They're the perfect size for a stocking. They're also really affordable these days, especially the synthetic versions. They've really dropped down in price.
Yeah, it's
amazing. Everyone and their mother is selling synthetic brushes now, but we actually just put out one that's based on the vintage Ever Ready brushes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, I like to bring back, stuff that's been discontinued or just ancient stuff that's really hard to find.
Yeah.
This is another one of them. Except I kind of brought it back on steroids. It's like a huge brush,
nice.
But it's classic, like Bakelite looking. It's not Bakelite, but it does look Bakelite. But it's called the Atomic Rocket. If you're ever on our site, check it out. But $12.95 for a 26 millimeter synthetic brush.
Wow.
I mean, you can't lose with that.
I gotta try that.
And again, makes it great stocking stuffer. It's perfect, and it's not something you're going to want to wrap anyway. So just stick it in the stocking.
And they've gotten so much closer to like the real hair now. Because I have like an old. I think it was given as a Christmas gift to me from someone that was like it was from the Body Shop, and it just felt like plastic. It felt like a toy brush, like in a kid's little toy bathroom kit.
Yeah. No, for the longest time, the synth brushes, they just suck. Like some of them look like it's made out of fishing line. Some of the antique ones, that white like fiber optic type brush. But now, and it has more to do with makeup world, the stuff that she's using that does with all these different betterments they're making with the brush qualities. Because they've been competing with different animal furs or hairs for years. In fact, women laugh at us when we're like, this badger brush cost me $50. And she's like, yeah, well, I have this fox, this tiny fox brush that costs $2,000. I mean, it's amazing. The price, they just badger. Who uses badger? Anyway, so the synthetic brushes, that comes out of the makeup industry, and it also comes out of South Korea. So, for years, people have been like, well, badgers aren't going to be around forever. Well, now I'm thinking, is synth going to be around forever?
That's true.
Yeah, we probably want to move those plants somewhere else.
Yeah.
But we're getting them from China, but the fibers themselves are coming out of South Korea.
Oh, cool.
So they're doing it right, and they're very competitive these days, so they're getting better and better with fibers. And I'm really excited about synth. It's the only thing I use right now.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And it's like kind of novelty too for somebody that hasn't shaved classically before. It's like a great introduction to get somebody some soap and the brush, because they'll use that. They might not start out with a razor. They might be kind of scared with it, but they'll play around with it for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's the way to do it. That's how most of us got into it. We started with the brush and the soap. We found a health food store or something like that, and we were still using cartridge razors. But that is wet shaving. When I say wet shaving, I'm just talking about using a soap and brush.
Yeah.
I don't care what you shave after the fact, but that is the wet shaving part. But another great thing about the synth, especially if we're talking about traveling, is that's something, since it's not animal hair, you don't have to really worry about drying that off before you throw it back in your kit and take it off to the next hotel room or wherever you're going. You don't have to baby it so much. It's going to last forever. So I like that too, the durability.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm going to grab a few more things. The rest, if you want to see the rest of the contents of this stocking, a new episode, I'd Lather Be Shaving, is coming out on Monday. It's our Christmas episode.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for all these great ideas. I mean, we'll have you back on again in the new year to go through some birthday gifts, Valentine's Day gifts.
You guys on our show too,
for sure.
Of Lather Be Shaving. I want to get you. I want to come to you guys.
Oh yeah,
in LA. And, sorry, John. And do something though, get you guys on the show, have some competition or whatnot.
That'd be fun.
We've been talking about last night about getting different people on the show and embarrassing them.
That'd be fun. I'm always up for that. All right, well, thanks, man. You have a Merry Christmas, Doug, and we'll talk to you in the new year.
Dude, you just said Merry Christmas.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We've been triggered.
Dude, happy holiday. You're supposed to say happy holiday. How much do they fine you if you say Merry Christmas?
In Canada, might be put in prison, but here I'm just gonna go have some toast.
Hey, this is Jason Jaggard of Novus Global, and the worst Christmas present I have ever gotten was an energy-saving shower head from my father. My dad got me an energy-saving shower head, and I don't know if you know how this works, but the way that you save energy is by decreasing water pressure. And everyone has different preferences with water pressure. I prefer to have the water so strong that it's like ripping your skin off. And an energy-saving shower head is more like getting a gentle back massage from a small baby. And but it was nice of him to want to save me a little bit of money, except for one thing. I was still living in his house, so it was really a Christmas present for himself and a middle finger to me. Since then, him and I have gotten counseling and things are better now. But love your podcast and have a very Merry Christmas.
All right, coming for a close here.
Yeah. Had good guests and bad guests.
Good guests, bad
Typical,
guests.
Good way to end out the year.
And as you know, if you join Patreon during the month of December, all of our proceeds go to support Operation Homefront. So if you've always wanted to become a patron, now's the time to do it, because you can get a triple whammy. I said double whammy earlier, but I meant triple.
Twipple whammy.
Triple means you get to support a great cause, Operation Homefront. You get all the extras by being a patron, becoming a patron. This word is screwing me up. It always does.
Originally it came from patron, right?
Yeah, right. So by becoming a patron, and plus, if you want to enter our giveaway, I told you about all that stuff we had there, right? We got T-shirts, we got mugs, we got flasks, we got we've got a book signed by Zach Anner.
Did you talk to Jimmy on the way out? Because you're starting to sound like something rubbed off on your accent.
Jimmy? I didn't talk to him. No, I didn't see him. I missed it.
You sure a little guy
I
like about
missed
2 feet tall?
Yeah, no, I missed him. I guess. Well, he's very easy to slip through the cracks, literally. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. John, what do you think would be a good stocking stuffer for people? Like Doug gave us a bunch of great Phoenix shaving products, but what would a Scofflaw want in their stocking?
Spoons of all kinds, wood, small metal ones for soup.
The collectible ones from different.
The kind to stir the milk
places.
and sugar into your coffee.
No, nobody wants wood. They want wooden combs, not spoons.
He's out of touch. He's out of touch with the audience.
Right. So you could always go to gentlemanscofflaw.com and click the shop link. And there's a bunch of cool stuff you can give to someone in a stocking stuffer. I'd like to say the flask, because our flask is the coolest thing. I've got one.
Flasks are awesome.
Our logo done, printed metallically on the flask, and it looks super cool. For a fan of the show, it'd be a great gift.
Yeah.
Also, go ahead and enter the giveaway. We'll put the link in the show notes. If that's interesting to you at all, enter the giveaway to get all of that free stuff. All right? And we want to say thank you to all of our friends of the show that called in with their best and worst gifts. And we wish you all a Merry Christmas, and hopefully we'll see you in the new year.
Indeed.
You guys about ready to close this out?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you guys.
Yes. Yes.
Johnny boy?
Uh-huh.
I love you, man.
This is getting weird.
You are a gentleman in a Scofflaw, my
I think
friend.
he's about to give you a pipe.
That doesn't sound right at all.
Sorry.
Donovan?
Yes, sir.
I love you, buddy.
I love you too, Jordan. I'm
You
not
are a
afraid to say that.
You
even
are a
on air.
gentleman in a Scofflaw, my friend.
And you are as well. And I also, honestly, just since we're in California, I want to give a shout out to all of our firefighters out there.
Oh, yes, for
because
sure.
They've been fighting those fires. No doubt our viewers or our listeners have heard about them. And we lost one today.
Oh, no.
Want to say that they're all gentlemen Scofflaws.
Definitely.
And I respect what they're doing, and I hope they're all safe this Christmas season.
Definitely. You guys have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the new year.
Hey, this is Zach Anner of the Gentleman Scofflaw podcast, and I think my favorite holiday memory, for me it was Christmas. Haven't had too many Hanukkah ones, but my favorite Christmas memory, I think, was sitting around the piano with my grandma and singing Christmas carols with my whole family, and my aunts and uncles got out their instruments, and I, of course, used my natural singing ability, and it was just one of those magical Christmas moments. And then my worst Christmas memory, usually my Christmases are pretty good. But my Christmases are fucking amazing.
Thank you for coming. You look beautiful tonight. Meet me after the show. Here we go. It was almost Christmas time, and there I stood in another line, trying to buy that last gift or two. Not really in the Christmas mood. Standing right in front of me was a little boy waiting anxiously, pacing round like little boys do. And his hands, he held a pair of shoes. And his clothes were worn and old. He was dirty from head to toe. And when it came his time to pay, I couldn't believe what I heard him say. Sir, I wanna buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve, and these shoes are just her size. Could you hurry, sir? Daddy says there's not much time. You see, she's been sick for quite a while, and I know these shoes would make her smile. What? And I want her to look beautiful if Mama meets Jesus. Wait, she dies? What the I'm sticking to the classics next year. Damn it.